Have you ever thought about the meaning of life? Is it to do something? Is it to love somebody? Is it to courageously respond to suffering? I don't know. But what stuck with me about Attack on Titan is Zeke and Armin's interaction at the end of the show, the hopelessness of ending suffering, and how this all relates to Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl. Attack on Titan is a story about suffering and, often the pursuit of ending suffering. But if suffering is inevitable, then is this goal impossible? What is the point? My girlfriend and I binged every single episode of Attack on Titan in the last couple of weeks, which was awesome, including the last episode like an hour ago. So my brain is all fucky-wucky right now. And also, somehow I dodged spoilers for like 10 years at least, so I'm pretty satisfied with myself. I think that the biggest thing here is, and the thing I want to start with here is, man, the interaction between Zeke and Armin in the paths. The way that while Armin was doing a little bit of a monologue, talking feeling to feeling with this Zeke guy who's just super depressingly building a sandcastle, Armin comes over with this experience, this recollection of how, holy shit, dude, I might have been brought onto Earth to play tag or to go chase Eren. I might have just really enjoyed hanging out with them, just vibing and, finding meaning in existing with his pals. And as he's talking about that, he's holding up this leaf. Armin sees this leaf, but Zeke sees a baseball. And Zeke suddenly has this realization about, oh my God, dude, I love playing catch. It was so awesome. And yeah, extermination and making sure nobody else has babies and stuff is cool and all. But damn, I could just be playing catch for my whole life. And you know what? I'd be goddamn happy. And it really made me think about that because I think this will ultimately relate back to Man's Search for Meaning here. Is that dude, what is the point of it all, man? And rather not trying to pursue that understanding of what is the point of it all, but rather focusing on the moment right now and being like, hey man, dude, the weather's so nice. As your ass cheeks are out, you're waving at your mortal enemy and they come over to slice your head off. I think that's the point. The point is being able to find meaning in every single moment that we're given. Life gives us an opportunity to find meaning. And I think maybe sometimes it might be this delusional idea that we can end suffering for everyone, which is kind of the second point I wanted to talk about. Is if you think about what a lot of Zeke's motivation was, what Eren's motivation was here. There's this idea of, holy shit, if we just do this thing, then nobody else will have to suffer ever again. If we just make sure that the Eldians can't give birth anymore, dude, we're fine. Then nobody can turn into Titans. There will be no more suffering. Clearly, it's okay. But as we saw at the end, the very, very end in the credits, we saw that once time has passed, we saw a shit ton of seasons passing at the end, where it was Eren's tree in his grave. We realize that, oh my God, time goes on. The area around the tree became advanced. It became super futuristic. And we get war again. We get explosions. We get death. And so I think we often think about, man, what can I do in order to live another day past my death? What can I do to extend my life beyond my limited mortality, right? And then what the fuck, dude? The answer is, oh my God, dude, you spend all this time, Eren, oh my God, every single person, all of their suffering, everything, poof, gone. And repeated again. We don't learn anything. We didn't learn jack shit. Humanity eventually bombs each other again. Yeah, you don't have Titans, you just get a different weapon. It is hopeless. I don't think it's possible to end suffering. And I don't think that that's a bad thing. I think that suffering is not inherently a bad thing. I mean, there are some very, 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 very evil things that cause suffering. But I think suffering in and of itself is not a bad thing. Especially because it's a fruitless pursuit. You manage to kill all of the people other than Eldians. Well, we're going to forget about it in like 1,000 years. It's not going to prevent suffering forever. It's just not how it works. Maybe if you lobotomize everybody and lobotomize all future beings and all possible conscious beings on the planet and prevent them from evolving, then maybe, I don't know. The thing is, like, even when you shit yourself if you're, I don't know, if you're lobotomized, like, that's probably suffering still. Like, even if you're not conscious of it, it still would be suffering. It is not possible. But the really interesting point that I think was made in Man's Search for Meaning was that, dude, here's the thing. Yeah, all right. If you're not familiar with the book, basically Viktor was in the Holocaust. He experienced some of the darkest shit humanity has to offer. And despite all of that, comes out able to be optimistic still, able to have faith in humanity. And I think the major takeaway that I've had is that, man, yeah, there's a lot of shit stuff. There's a lot of suffering. There's a lot of horrible, 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 horrible things that could happen to you and will happen to you. You're not dead yet. There's plenty of suffering to go, man. But it's all about, given that input of suffering, given the life that happens to you, what do you do about it? Do you get mad and start killing people? Do you find hope? Do you try to help people? Do you try to find love regardless? Do you try to find a way to respond to that suffering that's good, that you're proud of, that you can go to bed knowing, damn, I did a good thing, that despite all of the suffering around me, despite the suffering that might be happening to me, despite everything, you've chosen, given the circumstance that you have, you've chosen something good. And I think there's something so beautiful about that. This reminder that, all right, you know what? I rewatched the first episode of Attack on Titan, and one of the characters that's introduced very early on, God, I forget his name. I'm such a jackass. It's the guy with blonde hair. He's like kind of the introduced as like kind of a drunkard. Like, he doesn't really care about the Titans. He's not taking it very seriously. And I was thinking about it, like, dude, you know what? That guy's hanging out with his homies. He's hanging out with the people of the town. He knows them, and he's appreciating them right now. He might be drinking himself drunk because he's terrified of the realities of the Titans, and maybe he really is just taking it not seriously, and he doesn't give a shit. But I think there's a certain beauty in that, if he just, he's appreciating and hanging out. And despite, yes, maybe this idea of complacency where he doesn't recognize the dangers of all the Titans, blah, blah, blah. I think there's a nugget there where you can say, man, Aaron's a serious young man who wants to eradicate the Titans. But I think there's an equal amount of space in the world for someone that just, says, hey, man, let's have some drinks and hang out and play some cards or something. And enjoy that, and enjoy the moment, and enjoy being able to play ball with your dad, being able to, was it Zeke's dad? I don't remember. Anyway, being able to play ball, play catch, being able to chase your friends around and enjoy the heat of the season, being able to appreciate the fresh air that you're getting into your lungs, man. Being able to say, man, you know what? I'm really happy. I just made an ice water for my girlfriend and gave her a kiss on the forehead, and now I'm talking to you guys. This is what I wanted to do. This is what I felt like I want to do in the moment. Not for any sort of other purpose. And this really impacted me, and it made me think a shitload about all this. And I want to share. I want to, maybe someone else has some type of value gained from what I have to say here. Maybe this makes you think about something. All I know is that the point is we need to appreciate what we have right now. I can't express this enough. I'm very thankful, man, for what I've been given. I've had some lame stuff happen to me, But dude, holy shit, I got to grow up in one of the greatest periods of humanity, man. I could have grown up 100 years ago. I could have been born 100 years ago, and then by the time I'm early 20s, I get shipped off to Germany in the war. Like, holy shit, my life could have been very different. I could have gotten in a car crash and died. Instead, I got in a car crash and lived to tell the tale and to hound my insurance company. Like, there's a lot of endless suffering, and ending it doesn't make any sense. And really, it's just about, damn, okay, well, life is going to happen. Life is going to go down. There's going to be some great stuff and beautiful stuff. And when that beautiful goddamn moment is given to you, you better hold on to it and appreciate it. But not try to force it, because when you try to force it, well, then you're also lying to yourself. There's just new suffering, and you gotta do what you gotta do. We can't lie to ourselves and say that everything is okay either and become complacent. But we can't also dwell in the darkness of despair, man. It's all a balance. And regardless, I think no matter what, gotta just appreciate shit, man. We gotta find our meaning. We gotta find how to respond to things in a way that we're proud of, in a way that makes us happy. And I think that life is going to give you a ton of questions. Life is going to throw you curveballs. Well, you got to catch it and maybe throw it back. I don't know. In conclusion, the meaning of life is not what we need to be focused on. What we need to be focused on is appreciating right now. I need to do what I need to do today, and I need to be responsible for my life. Or maybe, who knows? Maybe everything really is predetermined, and I was going to make this video and you were going to watch it no matter what. Maybe there is no point. Maybe there is no meaning of life. Maybe that all of our efforts are predetermined and we cannot change anything. No matter how hard you test, maybe you can never change anything. But I don't know. Maybe I think there's a beauty in trying to find out all the way to the bitter end.